Hey, you guys, I'm Molly.
And I'm Rachel, and we just finished watching the Traitors US Season 4, Episode 7, and oh my god, we have so much to talk about.
It is so good. This episode is almost as dramatic as the outfits at the banquet were, so should we start with those?
Listen, Candace's outfit was iconic. One of my favorite parts of the episode.
Like Medusa with the snakes all over her head. I would not look at her.
So good.
It was so good. Also, Mora, I want to wear that outfit so bad with the hat that had like a Louboutin red bottom.
See, yeah, hers is the outfit that I would want to wear, and I think Candace's is the one that was most like jaw-dropping,
like took
to
your
me.
breath away.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
totally. Okay, I have a question though about
What?
the outfits.
Yeah.
Do you think that Rob's outfit was good, or do you just think he's hot? Because I can't tell.
I think his outfit was fine. I think, like, compared to everyone else's, it wasn't as good, but it wasn't bad. Like, I mean, he brought his A game.
At first, I was like so glad that he was wearing something that felt on theme. I was like, ooh, it has like a nice pattern. I like that it had buckles. But the more I looked at it, the more I was like, it does kind of have the thought of when someone wears a tuxedo shirt to like a fancy event. Like it felt like a fancy print printed onto a t-shirt, but he's hot, so it looks good.
See, I feel like Rob is just there to win. He's like, I'm here to play the game. The outfits, that's secondary. Like, I think his focus is game central.
And it's working. Because he's doing a great
It is
job.
working. Okay, then let's get into the banquet then. We got to start off by talking about Lisa and the amulet. It's just every time that the faithfuls are right, they're right for the wrong reason.
It's like by accident. I'm
Exactly.
like, you guys, I mean, first of all, we lost sweet Yam Yam, but him getting carted away yelling, that was Lisa.
Crazy. He was like, Lisa,
That's what
Lisa.
I want from my TV. So I'm sad he's gone, but I'm glad it's him because I'm not sure everyone would do that. Again, like you said, it was for the wrong reasons. The kiss meant nothing. But why did she actually kiss him?
No, that was my question too. I'm like, did she actually kiss him? Did she just give air kisses to everyone? Because that would be suspicious if you only kiss him.
Yeah, I wonder if I truly believe that she did actually kiss him, only because Mora's thought process makes so much sense to me that she felt like, she was like, I remember, she said at the round table, but she's like, I remember that you actually kissed him because I remember thinking, don't do that to me, you'll mess up my makeup. And that is exactly how you remember things. Like that doesn't feel like a lie, but I wonder if maybe Lisa thought she air kissed him and she just was too close.
Yeah, I feel like that might have been it, and it's also crazy because the way that she pulled off the murder was so good. Like nobody even suspected for a second that was it. Like
Her going, ow, ow, ow.
so good.
So good.
She was preying off of people's kindness.
Yes, poor sweet Yam Yam.
Oh my gosh, it was so sad.
I did think that the antidote was a really good twist to give them a chance to possibly make the murder not happen or reverse it. What did you think about all the discourse between people trying to decide who could take it?
See, I feel like only faithfuls would try to take the antidote because it's too obvious. Like I think at least in this season, we've seen that being outspoken is what draws suspicion.
Totally.
So like, I mean, all the traitors sat back and did not go for it. It's like all three of them. And so what does that tell us? That's not what traitors are doing.
Right? I thought people's argument against Natalie, I feel like I'm worried I'm being biased because I love her from Survivor, but I feel like I was so mad this whole episode because I wanted to shake the faithfuls and be like, you guys, if you think about it, even one step further than directly what's in front of you, why would she do that?
She was
if
so
a traitor?
desperate.
She was so clearly desperate. And the person that she was arguing with overtaking it didn't get murdered. So why, even if it was a move and it was like the double bluff they thought it was, why would she not back off the moment that she realized people were getting frustrated with her? Like she's not that bad of a traitor. It felt crazy to me.
It did. And at least, I mean, nobody suspected Kristen because it was, they put the card there as a red herring. They had to have because they wanted at least one person who was a target to get the antidote.
Yeah, and it was interesting that now people are suspecting Steven, who had been flying so far under the radar for so long.
Are people, it's Colton who's suspecting Steven? Did he get anybody else
Yes.
on board?
I don't think so. I think Colton's doing his thing again where he gets really big for his britches because he got one right. The whole group got it, but he thinks he got one. Now he's like, everything I say is correct and then is wrong again.
Yes. So I feel like, but he's been like wrong, right. So it keeps going back and forth.
Maybe you'll get there.
So it's going to
again,
be wrong
but,
and then, right
but this
again.
feels like Tiffany all over again.
Yes. Yeah, it really does. Okay, well, we got to talk about the mission next because this was really interesting. They had this dagger up for grabs where you got 2 votes if you want it. And I was so intrigued by Rob's tactic. He was doing like a human lie detector.
Yeah.
Like, what's your favorite movie? What's your favorite color? Okay.
That was so interesting.
So good.
And I loved that they had to kind of be out for themselves because of the dagger and do the collecting gold thing. It was also interesting to see who gave who gold when they were like, I'm not going to get it, so I'm going to pass it on to this person. Like, I think Tara gave it to Rob, which I was like, ooh, because she thought Steven might be a traitor. It was something very like, ooh, you are so wrong, girl, but that's okay.
Yeah, and who did Lisa give it to again? Because I remember they were really suspicious because she didn't put any.
I think she
in
gave
hers.
it to Steven, actually.
Yes, she
now
did
that
give
you
it to
say that.
Steven.
Yeah.
Yes, and maybe that's why Colton thinks Steven
Probably
is a traitor.
You're right, probably.
Okay,
Which
that makes sense now.
helpful to Rob. Thanks, Lisa, for being mad at him and not giving him the gold.
It is helpful to Rob. And like I will also say Rob it was a smart move telling everyone, hey, listen, I'm a faithful. I have the dagger. You can trust me. Let's all make this pact. Like if I was on the show, I would never in a million years think that Rob was a traitor.
I agree. I think
he's killing it.
Also built so much goodwill that he can do that. Like, people just are not even thinking of him as a traitor. We'll get to the end where some people are, but not really.
No, exactly.
I also found the getting the dagger really interesting. Like you said, Rob used that human lie detector tactic. And I don't know about you, but I was so confused by Natalie's reaction because I thought she was purposely trying to look suspicious. And now I'm trying to figure out if she was, and she thought if she was like double bluffing again. Like, if I look way too suspicious, then he'll think I don't have it.
You see, I thought that too. I thought that she was like reversing it so much that it was actually hurting my head. I was like, what is she trying to do here? I don't even think I can say.
Because I really thought he was wrong. I thought she didn't have it. I
did too. But yeah, so I guess it didn't work and he got the dagger.
Watching him like squint at them all was A+ TV.
So funny. But I feel like that dagger led to like the most important moment in the season yet, because this is when Rob had to choose like, okay, am I going to like ditch the traitors and align myself with the faithfuls, or am I going to like, stand up for Lisa and Candace?
Entirely. And I think we saw that with him making the pact with the faithfuls to not tell anyone, because yes, he could say that and then still tell the traitors, but it seems like he's not doing that. And he really is choosing to kind of turn his back on Lisa and Candace. I wonder how long he's been thinking of doing this, if he's been feeling like their bond is too tight because they're housewives, and that at some point he has to cut and run and maybe get other people in the turret that are more loyal to him, like Maura.
Yeah, I feel like he did start off the season wanting to be loyal to the traitors, because they did. I was like all for their friendship at the beginning. I was like, this is an amazing trio. I love that these 3 traitors. But I think last episode 6, really started the decline. And that was really when Rob was like, okay, it's very possible that only one of us can win this.
Totally. And I think moving into the roundtable and people discussing who they're going to banish, it made sense to me that he felt like, okay, I took a shot at Lisa, I missed. Now, if I'm going to take a shot again, I cannot miss. And he kind of, I think, felt it out before deciding fully where he was going. And I think the moment that Dorinda came for Maura, he was like, I'm going for Lisa. I have to back Maura up. People are turning on my girl. It's time. I'm going to take the shot. I can convince people.
It's true. No, I totally agree. And maybe this is just because I played Among Us so obsessively back during COVID, but I think it would have looked worse if Rob didn't vote for Lisa, especially after he voted for her last week. Lisa was getting voted out.
Especially if she went.
Exactly.
If she went and then revealed herself to be a traitor and he had flipped,
exactly.
That would have been crazy.
And that's what he tried to tell them like at the beginning of the episode, and they just like didn't seem to get it. But then at the end of this episode, when Candace defends Lisa, that's when Colton catches on and he's like, see, now I think it's Candace.
It's so crazy that Rob really does get away with everything, but I think he's doing a really good job of knowing when to defend them and when to not. And he just decided that it was better for his game to let them be.
It's true. That's why I'm really interested to see how things are going to go now that they're kind of separated. Because from the promo, it seems like they're done.
It
like
sure
there's
does.
no more alliance.
Well, even right at the end, you see both Rob and Candace discussing each other
Yeah.
with other faithfuls. And it's like, okay, sounds like gloves are off. Like, they're going for each other.
Yeah, and Candace votes for Rob.
That was so, in my opinion, that was so stupid. I think that was so unnecessary. When there's a clear cut 2 people to vote for and you're a traitor, don't vote for a secret third option. Also, I guess her and Dorinda are the only 2 housewives and neither of them voted for Lisa. So I guess she felt like she couldn't. But I don't know. The Rob vote, it felt just emotional and vindictive and like not actually strategic. I don't know. I feel like if you're gonna do a rogue vote, do Maura maybe.
Yeah.
Because you're mad about the kiss thing and you don't, like, I don't know. You don't believe that. Rob felt so pointed and he's so trusted that I feel like it just makes her look bad.
It's true. I think that Candace is trying to play the game more as a team. Like the first thing that's important to her is teamwork and winning it together.
Yeah.
Where Rob is like, no,
Traitors, baby.
What's important is strategy. Like this is, we got to do what we got to do.
And I think a lot of people were excited to see the Traitors work together because last season they really did not work well together. But I'm okay with it breaking up now. I think it was fun to see them try. And they were a successful trio for a while. But Rob didn't take the first shot on his own. Lisa made herself look bad. And he said, I'm jumping off a sinking ship. And I can appreciate that.
Yeah, that's the thing too. If Lisa hadn't outed herself, then I feel like it all would have been fine. He never would have voted for her. He did what he had to do because of the card that he was dealt.
Yeah. And I was really excited that he didn't have to use his dagger and we still got Lisa out.
Yes.
Now he has it to save himself later if people start pointing fingers at him.
That's true. That's a really good point. And I feel like if they do vote Candace out next, that could lead to Rob. Because, I mean, Candace was protecting Lisa. And when Rob went against Lisa, that's when Candace voted Rob.
Yeah.
So I feel like it could, I don't know if they'll make this
Who knows
connection.
if these faithfuls will get
I
there?
don't know. There's a lot of connections that are made, a lot that haven't been made. But I feel like it's definitely possible. Like the connection is there if they can see it.
Yeah, totally. I thought this roundtable was really interesting, but also really frustrating as a Natalie apologist because I felt like they weren't seeing the full picture with Natalie. And she did make that slip up of saying we murdered her. But what I wish she had remembered enough to say to defend herself is she was talking about Tiffany. And she meant banished, but
that's such a good point.
Did kill Tiffany. Like the faithfuls.
Oh, so it wasn't even accurate at all.
No, the faithfuls did banish Tiffany. The traitors did too, I guess, but it wasn't a we murdered Ian situation, which is what Portia said. Also, Portia slipped up 8,000 times and she was not a traitor. So I just feel like that's not a good tactic. You can't go just on that.
Yeah, they're focusing way too much on the we when it's like this is a group of people where some people are traitors. We don't know who.
Yeah.
So we decide things as a group. We say we because we don't know. I think everyone keeps focusing on the we because like you said, that happened with other people and they weren't traitors.
I totally agree. And I think part of why these faithfuls are getting so lost is because all of the quote unquote gamers are leaving. And so they don't have these like strategic minds to lead them past the first shallow thing. And they're latching on to any little clue that the traitors feed to them. Like Lisa being like, this is what Natalie said. Everyone just jumps on that instead of looking further. I also feel like if Rob Cesternino was there, which I will say till I die, I wish he was still there to figure it out, he would have told them that Natalie does not play the way they're saying she plays. She is loyal. That is what won her Survivor season. She would not be the one in the turret murdering all the other gamers. Yam Yam would, but she wouldn't. So to say a gamer's murdering another gamer, okay, but not Natalie. You clearly don't know these players.
No, I feel like they're just obviously I think the gamers had more like I think they had better tactics. And these other things that everybody's picking up on is just so small and minuscule. Like you're picking up on like little brain farts that don't actually mean anything and they are missing the big picture. And they're the ones voting the gamers out.
It's crazy. The Traitors did so well to murder two of the really strategic gamers at the beginning. And Monet, who's also a gamer in real life. She wasn't on a game show, but she plays all of these strategy games in her real life. So that was a good tactic from the Traitors. But then the Faithfuls took out Tiffany on their own. Then they almost took out Natalie. But I was glad to see that she actually only got a couple votes because people ended up turning on Lisa. I think mostly due to Rob.
It was definitely Rob who put that final nail in the coffin. It was for sure.
That calm speech where he just explained that, like, we can't play emotionally, we have to play logically, which he didn't really do last week with Ron, but
it's true. But
it was good. It worked.
He loved that. I loved their friendship.
I like seeing him have to fight this, like, he is a really emotional person, and I think he's also a very logical person. So I really appreciate seeing him, like, fall into it 1 second and then when it suits him being like, actually, we don't play with emotion. It's interesting.
See, that's the thing, because I love Lisa and Candace's friendship too. Like, I love how hardcore she was for her, even though it was at her own, like, demise. But I mean, at some point, I understand you have to pick, am I here to win this, or am I here to make friends, like they all say?
Yeah.
But that's totally true. That's literally what it is.
I think Candace had convinced herself that the way to win was together, like you said. So I don't think she realizes that she's choosing, or like thinks she's choosing friendship over game. But you're right, she is, because work with what you have. Rob is still in the turret. You shouldn't just turn on him.
I will say though, I did see it coming, but I am sad that Lisa ended up leaving just because they were such a good group for a second there. It was such a good trio. And like, this is my first time watching Traitors, so I don't know if like 3 Traitors usually make it that far, but man, they were a dream team.
I think because last year they were so disjointed, it was really exciting to see them be a dream team. But I do feel like Rob knew when to cut and run, and I can appreciate that. Lisa's exit, though, can we talk about that for a second? Her yelling traitor and then like posing. I was obsessed.
That was so good. I also love the way that Mama Kelsey did it. Which is like, you got yourself a traitor.
Yes.
I was like, oh, I'm happy that they're good sports about it.
Totally. Also, I am going to be like sauntering around my house the way that Lisa was leaving. She
oh
said,
my God.
I was obsessed.
Okay, but here's the thing. Her exit was so good, but I just feel like she could have stayed if her defense was just a little better. It just, I don't know. It was very guilty.
Totally. I also think it was such a good point. I'm so glad someone brought up that they were like, Yam Yam is clearly a faithful. He was murdered. Why would he lie about you kissing him?
He was wrong.
That was not the reason. That wasn't the reason. He was murdered because he touched it, not because you kissed him. But I do, that was such a good point. Like, why would Yam Yam lie? He's not a traitor.
But that's the thing. Lisa is so smart because they didn't realize what the actual murder was.
True.
So if her defense could have just been a little better, I think she just got overwhelmed. Which I would also get overwhelmed if this many people were rightly accusing me.
And the kiss was clearly a mistake that she like didn't realize she made. So I think it really flustered her that she didn't have an answer for that.
Yeah, exactly.
She probably had an answer in her head if the actual amulet came up, you know?
That's true. Lisa, Rinna, you will be missed. I do wonder, are they going to recruit anyone? Like, is she going to be replaced? Because I'm new to Traitors, so I don't know exactly how this
I feel like it's early enough that they might, but I also wonder if the producers see that Candace and Rob are throwing shots at each other, if they'll let another one go before they recruit because they're like, 2 are going to go anyway. I don't know. I'm interested. I feel like if they try to recruit now also, that will be a really interesting turret scene because they are not going to agree. They both are fighting each other, so they're both going to want someone that's in their corner instead of picking someone that's good for both of them. Like, I think Rob will want a Mora, Candace would want a Tara, and they're never going to agree because Rob isn't going to want someone that's just going to back Candace up and vice versa.
I kind of hope they pick Natalie. I feel like Natalie would be a good choice.
I wish there wasn't heat on her.
That's true.
That's true. I would love for her to be a traitor, and it would be so much fun to watch her be a traitor. I think she wants to be. I also wonder if Rob will fight for Colton.
I feel like he knows that like Colton is very outspoken, so making him a traitor could be risky because what if he suddenly became quiet.
Right. And I think he makes more sense to have in your pocket as a faithful.
Yes, I agree.
I selfishly want Mora as a traitor because I want to hear her accent more. And I just think she's fun to watch. She'd be fun to watch be evil.
I love Mora. Yeah, no, I totally agree.
But I feel like Candace won't want that because Candace is not dumb. And she knows that now she's gone against Rob.
I mean, no, Candace is done with Rob. Like, this is a every man, every woman for themselves situation.
Do you think she'll throw more candy or popcorn or whatever she threw at him last episode?
Yes, I do. I think that she's just like, this is it. She's mad. She's mad.
Yeah. I can't wait for the next episode because we didn't get that much in the trailer for next episode, but we know that they're going at each other.
It's true. We didn't see the confrontation. They always stop at the best part.
I want a whole episode of The Turret. I want more, but like, give me them being mad at each other for as long as you want.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
Speaking of next week, they didn't tease a murder the way they normally do, where they normally show us who they're talking about. Do you think that that's because they more wanted to show them fighting? Or do you think maybe it's because we get a recruit instead of a murder, or they have the option?
I don't know. I feel like if there's going to be a murder, that's usually something they would put in the promo. So it could be a recruit.
I wonder if they'll give them the option, but then I just don't know how these two are going to decide anything together from here on out.
That's going to be a battle.
A murder, a recruit, anything.
Yeah, no, I don't see it going well.
I'm worried about that.
I'm worried about that too, especially because, again, we started as such a dream team. The Traitors are falling apart.
And I think if we're going Rob v. Candace, Rob prevails. But I kind of am eager, I think I'm eager for one of them to leave and get another traitor in so we have a unified team. Also, with recruits, there's a couple different options that producers might give them. So I wonder if they do offer a recruit, if it'll be you offer to either recruit someone, they become a traitor, or they choose to die and leave, or if it'll be they can turn it down and remain in the castle.
Does anyone ever choose to die? I feel like that's quite a bit of loyalty for this game.
That happen, but they have had someone turn it down when it wasn't an or die.
Okay, I mean, that makes sense.
Because they just felt like they were doing so well as a faithful, they wanted to keep going.
Okay, so could there be like another option?
Yes, it depends. I think the producers could decide what they wanted. If they really wanted another traitor, they'd offer them another chance.
I do think that most of the faithfuls would turn it down if the option was to keep playing.
You think?
I do.
I think we got a lot of faithfuls that were hoping to be traitors.
Really?
I mean, maybe not as much left, but Natalie wants to be a traitor. I think Mora would be a traitor in a heartbeat.
Oh, you think so?
I don't know about
those are valid points.
A Tara, a Johnny Weir. Maybe they'd turn.
Colton.
Johnny might take it. Colton
would be
take it.
A traitor 100%, especially if he knew Rob. Well, I guess he wouldn't know if they don't tell him,
know,
but he would definitely be on Rob's team.
Yeah, and I think I want Natalie, but I think Natalie and Colton would be tough because they've had so much heat on them.
They have, yeah.
But that could also be a good traitor shield. But bring someone in might get banished again, but at least it's not you.
That's true. And you could always vote them out again. Like, it's working for Rob right now.
Yeah.
So
I'm interested. I can't wait to see. I hope they get offered a recruit sometime soon, I think, just because I want people unified again.
Now, when do the faithfuls know when somebody gets recruited? Like, do they know there's another traitor among them?
No.
Okay, so they don't know when the traitors switch up.
Unless someone turns it down and then tells them, like, I turned it down. They can do that.
Okay.
And then they might be like, oh, I wonder if someone else got recruited.
But you can also lie. You can never have gotten the option and just say, like, a traitor could be like, oh, I got the option to be a traitor and I turned it down. Okay, so there's really, like, the rules in this game. It's like you can do anything you want.
Yeah. You can do a lot of different strategic pulls as long as you're not outright telling someone you're a traitor when you are, or telling someone that someone else is a traitor.
Okay.
When they, like, that you know for certain.
That's interesting. Okay. A lot to sit on.
Yeah. I feel like with this season, I am, like, anxiously awaiting every week. And now I really, especially because they didn't tease a murder or a recruit. I'm like, what's going to happen?
I am too.
I don't want to wait a week.
I didn't expect, because again, like, I'm newer to reality TV. I did not expect to get this invested. Me and my best friend are like texting about it nonstop. Like, don't spoil anything if I haven't seen it yet. It's crazy.
Oh, I'm
it's
so
so
glad.
good.
Okay, so that has been our recap of Traitors US Season 4, Episode 7. I cannot wait until next week. But what do you guys think? Who do you think is going to get murdered or recruited in the next episode? Let us know in the comments.
Yes, and make sure to like, follow, and subscribe because I know that we are going to have a lot more thoughts this season. But I am Rachel. You can find me on TikTok and Instagram at RachFirch.
And I'm Molly, and you can find me at MeHoldingCoffee on TikTok and Instagram. And we will see you next week to talk about this show more.
So much to talk about.
Bye.
Bye, guys.